Shikues të nderuar, përshëndetje dhe mirë se takohemi në ekranin e televizionit Point. Kemi nderin që sot me ne të kemi të ftuar në studion ton majorin e Rochester Hills, një bashki mjaft e njohur në Michigan ku shumë shqiptar jetojnë dhe veprojnë sot. Mr. Barnett, I want to welcome you to our studio and thank you so much for accepting our invitation to be here today.
Well, thanks so much for having me. It's good to be here.
Mr. Barnett, you are the mayor of a well-known municipality in Michigan, specifically Rochester Hills, where a lot of Albanians live and work, and especially Albanians that moved there from their land in Montenegro. From your experience, can you tell us how much has this Albanian community been able to integrate into the social, political, and economical aspects of life in America?
Well, I feel like our city, Rochester Hills, is really blessed to have the vibrant Albanian community that we have. When I think about the Albanians back home, they are some of the most engaged people politically, socially, certainly economically. They are wild entrepreneurs. They own our restaurants. They own construction companies and painting companies, and there are school teachers. They're involved in just about every aspect of American life. And the thing that I think is unique is they've been able to not lose what they have back home. They certainly still love family. They talk about their folks back here all the time, but they've also integrated into the American culture so that they're making a difference in Michigan and in Rochester Hills as well. They've really done a great job in being, I think, able to do both, walk a very thin line, being engaged in America, but also not forgetting their roots back here.
Rochester Hills is a diverse community. How do Albanians stand together with other people of the community in Rochester Hills? Do they obey the law, respect the local government? And did they play a role when you were elected the mayor, specifically saying during the election, do you have the support of the Albanian community?
Yeah. They've been great. Absolutely. I mean, of course, the center of the Albanian universe in Rochester Hills sort of is around St. Paul's Albanian Catholic Church, and we have so many people that are associated with that, and I think it's still the largest Albanian Catholic Church in the world outside of Albania, 1,500 families at one point. So that tends to be a great draw to our community, and so the church is always inviting myself, members of my council, other political leaders to participate in feasts and events, and I'm sure they had one this past weekend for November 28th. But they've really done a nice job integrating. We've had them walking in our Christmas parade, the students that dance and dress in local historical attire. They are absolutely ingrained in our community, and I think they've done a good job. They've been intentional about it. And then I've also really reached out to bring them in as well, because of course anytime you have a new culture, there are people that are curious, that have heard things, that want to better understand them. And so it's been great. I think our community has wrapped their arms around the Albanian community, and certainly they've done it in return.
A few years ago, your municipality, Rochester Hills, and the municipality of Tuzi became sister cities. Yeah. What can you tell us, what has been achieved until now, and what are your future plans for intensifying the collaboration between the two cities?
Yeah, it's one of those things like you think, you never know where life is going to take you. And I certainly, when I became mayor, I didn't think, one of the first things I'm going to do is create a sister city with a city I've never heard of in a country I probably couldn't find on the map. But fortune favors the brave, and some members of the diaspora came to me and said, you don't realize what a resource you have here. You have an amazing group of people who want to get involved. You have this great story back home, and they're trying to help their folks back home. And the way they presented it to me was so passionate. I was like, there's something we can do. We're a very blessed city. We have a highly educated population. We have a population that, from an affluent side, is better than most, or better than many. And so we knew we could help. So we signed the Sister City Agreement, and even then I don't think realized what role we would play. But through the different folks in the community that stepped up and said, here's a need, we try to meet it. Very early on, I created a program called 2 for Tuesday. So when the students started to go back to school, we asked all of our residents to buy two sets of supplies, one for the kids in Rochester Hills and one for the kids in Tuesday. And we send a whole ship container full of school supplies. Here we have given a full ride American education to a student here that graduated from the high school. We've hosted many delegations. Of course, we hosted the mayor at the time and several of his leadership team to understand how to run government, and they sat through and and learn from my directors some of the great things that are involved in local leadership and how to lead. All the way to more recently, one of the strangest requests I've ever gotten as a mayor is someone sat across the table from me and said, "Man, Mayor, your friends in Tuesday, they need a garbage truck." And I said, "Well, I don't have any in the office here. I'm going to have to figure out how to get that." And we did with some great partners, and we're able, of course, to deliver a garbage truck that here, and hopefully will be able to be used really soon. So, I think being a sister city isn't about a document or a date on a document. It's about a relationship. It's about a friendship. It's about the fact that the people here know whether the request is pencils and erasers or a garbage truck, that they can call their friends in Rochester Hills and at least certainly tell their request and ask, and that their friends on the other side are going to do everything that we can, at least as long as I'm there, to make sure that we can fulfill those requests and help our friends in any way possible.
The past few days, you've had the chance to visit Tuesday. What were your impressions of our town? Well,
you can hear by my voice that I've had a really good time here, or maybe that I'm talking too much. The folks here are so kind. I have to mention, Mayor Jalushai, unfortunately isn't here, but let me use his office for an event that we had last night. My great friends, Nicole Samai and Drita, are so special to me. They take such wonderful care of me, and really everyone here. People I've met and people I haven't treat me as if I'm part of the Albanian family, which is really really kind of fun. And although I'm not Albanian, they've sort of nicknamed me the half Albanian mayor, which I do wear with pride, because to be associated with people that are passionate about family, about community, about their faith, and I always say about their food, is no problem with me. Those are things that are right in my lane, and every time I'm here, well, like I say, I haven't been here in a long time, but now that I'm back, it feels just like the first time, absolutely like home.
We're glad to hear that. The municipality of Tuesday is new and has just started to develop its main structures. Do you think this environment has perspective for further development, considering that 2/3 of our community, our Albanians, have emigrated to the United States? What would your recommendations be? And do you think that the ones that emigrated and also the locals need to invest more into the community, maybe as a way to boost the economical field and prevent immigration too?
Sure. Well, that's a very complicated subject, and I'm certainly not an expert in it. I can see the results of it, and I see it back home when, I know that there's kind of immigration in two directions. It's like when a student graduates here, they often want to go off to college and life and experience elsewhere, whether it's in Europe or the United States. I know that every summer, almost all my Albanian residents in Rochester like to come back here and spend summers here with their friends and family and the culture that they're so used to and grew up with. So there's certainly love for both sides, and I think what has to happen here is a really honest conversation with all the demographics of people, your senior statesmen that have been here a long time, your young people, and say, what do we want Tuesday to look like in 5 and 10 years? What do we need to have to be able to attract people and keep them here? It's not all that different in Michigan too. I mean, we have a lot of great attributes, but sometimes when our seniors want to go to school, they want to go to the bright lights of a big city. They want to go to the coast, either on the East Coast or the West Coast. And we try to talk about the advantages of staying close to home. And there's one thing that you have, a tremendous advantage that no one can replace, and that is the pull of family. And if you're able to put the structure that gives people opportunity, which is really what people want at any age, that pull of family will eventually be pretty tough to deny. And I see it happening all the time as people spend more and more time for my community over here. That first they come just for a couple of weeks in August, and then they come for a couple months, and then they come here for like 6 months, and we start to lose them back to Tuesday. So there's a whole cycle of people coming back and forth to Michigan.
Yeah, we've had people move back here during the years too. So you've helped our municipality in different ways over the years. And can you tell us something for the future plans on the two-sided collaboration, not only on the economical field, but also on the educational, cultural, sports, informative, and other important fields?
Yeah. You know, the hardest thing about the sister city arrangement is to be able to predict where it might have gone or predict where it will go. Based on what we've seen over the last few years, I have no idea. We were getting ready to host another delegation just before COVID hit. I hope to host another delegation of leaders from TUSI, and maybe this one will be both government and business leaders, maybe some students that could come and be part of a unique collaboration of learners coming to the city, to my city. Who knows what kind of unique needs there'll be. But I think the point that hopefully we've proven over the last decade is that no matter what it is, that Rochester Hills, a very sophisticated American city, is proud to be twinned with TUSI, and will be there no matter what the request. Maybe we'll be able to help, maybe we'll be able to, maybe we won't, but we absolutely will always be a resource and want to be sort of a first stop along the way to see whatever we can do for our friends here.
To wrap it up, I would like to have your message to all the Albanians that live and work in your community in Michigan, but also in all parts and sides of the United States of America in general.
Well, like I said before, I became mayor, and I don't think I had a single Albanian friend, at least not that I knew, and had preconceived notions about the culture and the people, and I can only tell you how very wrong I was, and how the lessons I've learned about getting to know people can really change your perspective. The Albanians in my community are some of my favorite people. They are hard workers. They are proud Albanians, but equally proud Americans. They serve their community. They are entrepreneurial. They're never asking for handouts. Rather, we're going to contribute. We're going to open up another restaurant. We're going to help whenever the city needs help. They're wonderfully generous people. I think it comes from a generous culture, a culture that values hospitality and values family and faith. And while I'm having a great time in TUSI, I know when I get home, I'm going to have to tell these stories 40 or 50 or 60 times to all my friends back there. They've been texting me, they've been snapping me. Where did you eat last night? My cousin's coming to see you. Say hi to my friend. So there's just a great connectivity, and it's been a wonderful experience for me. It will not be so long before I'll come back again. Hopefully be able to bring some more folks from Rochester Hills here in the future, and just continue to enjoy this relationship, because I truly feel enriched by the Albanian population, and certainly thank the support of the Albanian population in my city for all the things that they continue to do for me, both politically and not politically. They are a tremendous resource for me, and I'm grateful for them.
Would like to thank you, Mr. Barnett, for making time for this interview, and we hope to have you back in Melsi very soon, and we hope for nothing but a prosperous collaboration between the two cities too.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity, and look forward to a continued incredible sister city relationship.
Shikues të nderuar, kjo ishte intervista me majorin Barnett, major I Rochester Hills në Michigan, ku shumë shqiptarë veprojnë dhe punojnë sot. Juve ju falenderojmë për vëmendjen, bashkë mirupafshim.